Welcome everyone to a new series I'm going to start here on the channel. And this is a series that it's going to be similar to a podcast. Topics are going to be ranging from a lot of different things. I'm thinking possibly even get some guests on in future stuff. But for this inaugural episode, the first episode, I wanted to take a look back for the month of May for the year 2019 in LSPDFR mods. Right now, there's not really an overview of what happened in the month of mods, so hopefully this can fill that gap and kind of get a discussion started about what some of your favorite things from the past month were. So starting in LSPDFR news, this is a big one for the month. We got an announcement that LSPDFR 0.4.2 is on the way. And with this update, there was a video I did a few days ago. I can link that in the description if you want super details, but the gist of it was adding some features that had been put on the back burner, or features that had been requested a long time ago, and they were now getting to them. Two of those new features are the flashing of the badges. So now as an off-duty cop, you can flash your badge. If you have a wanted level, completely get rid of your wanted level. On top of that, there's also going to be Ballistic Shields coming into the interaction menu. So you can now hold a shield and a gun when you're entering a high risk area. I think it looks pretty cool. We got two new pictures with this update. We don't have a release date yet, but I'm really excited for this update. It's always a great thing to see the mod continue to be updated on a regular basis. So the fact that this is coming is a great thing. I was reading about the flashing of the badge. Apparently it's an Easter egg within LSPDFR. There's a video they shared on it, and I have never seen this particular Easter egg. I've got over 1,000 days of patrols in LSPDFR. I've never seen this Easter egg. I watched the video. I was shocked. So here, let's take a look at the video together so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So this video is uploaded in 2015, and you can see they're on Rage plugin 0.22, so very early version of Rage plugin hook, and they pull over this black sedan. Okay, so here's where the traffic stop comes in. Okay. it's funny, if I saw somebody getting out of the car like that and starting to reach for something, I would too pull out my gun or stun gun. This could be an incredibly dangerous situation.
LSPD!
And on top of that, she starts to walk towards him. So you can see she flashes the badge there, says IAA, and proceeds to put the badge up and get back into the vehicle and head on her way. So this has been in LSPDFR. Like I said, I've never seen it before, but she's using her badge to get out of the traffic stop. Now your off-duty character can do this. If you get a wanted level for some reason, you can flash your badge and get rid of the wanted level. On top of that, you will also be able to use your badge when you're on duty. So say you're undercover somewhere and people are misbehaving, you flash your badge. It's supposed to get them to comply or move along. So a really cool feature. Like I said, we do not have a release date yet for this update. We just have the words, keep your eyes open for LSPDFR 0.4.2 coming soon. So the comments on this update, they've been fairly positive. I think there's like 60 comments as of uploading this video on Friday, May 31st. There's been some requests here. You can see the first comment to edit the texture on the ballistic shield. I'm sure we'll be able to do that through Open4. This was an interesting comment by Parks Fan. He's looking forward to the plugin developers being able to use the new API enhancements And what that means is they'll be able to dig into LSPDFR to pull data out to give a comprehensive experience to the player. And apparently they're taking suggestions for API development. So that's always a benefit to these updates when more the API becomes available and added onto. I've seen some suggestions in terms of making the menus easier or less intrusive. It's an interesting idea. This person, FKDZ, is suggesting that there be some type of hotkey for different animations instead of going to the menu and clicking it. That way it's like a more immersive experience versus having to open the menu and do that. You can see like with 5M and roleplay stuff that a lot of that stuff you can do with / command, and you can automatically hop into that animation, and it makes for a much more cohesive experience. That's the word I'm looking for. And that way you can just do your animation without taking you out of the action. We also see some comments about performance issues. I run into them, especially during certain callouts, and when things are spawning in, I just get a huge FPS drop. Fortunately, it just seems to be the nature of the beast with modding. From my knowledge, Rockstar has never been extremely open to the idea of their games being modified. And in fact, they have had updates for their games that make modding even more difficult. So I can understand the complaint. However, I don't know that there's too much LSPDFR developers can actually do to combat this. So, I can understand. I complain about it myself. And also, I think it's a problem with the Rage plugin hook. However, it hooks into the game. I've talked about it a lot on streams. The last version I used was version 1180 of GTA 5 for LSPDFR 0.3, and it worked fantastic. I could play with the highest detail settings, distance scaling all the way up, and I didn't have any type of problem whatsoever. And it was great. It was so smooth. But now with 0.4 and having to update to the latest GTA 5 version of the game to play it, I've seen these issues. So I believe, and others believe, I've talked to Peter Yu about it before, that the problem lies somewhere beyond version 1180 of the game. There's something done there to make it more complicated or more CPU intensive, whatever's causing the lag to the game. Overall, I mean, my game is playable, very much so. And actually, I get a lot of comments on my YouTube videos asking how I get such great frame rates. So obviously, other people are getting worse than me. However, I do see this constantly be brought up, and I'm sure they're aware of it. I just don't think that there's too much that can be done about this particular issue. And once again, some of the lag and stuff can come from models that are unoptimized and don't have proper LODs. That can always be an issue too. That's the other part of the problem, is that the issues with FPS and LSPDFR, they can be from a huge variety of things, including other plugins, including models that you have in the game. If you were to run pretty much normal cars and no other mods besides LSPDFR, it probably would run fairly smoothly, but realistically, people aren't going to want to do that. They want to put in cars and stuff like that. I think part of the problem too is people don't know what an optimized model is. Like, I'm not even sure myself. What am I looking for in a model? Who knows? I don't know. So it's just something to keep in mind as well. Moving on to script updates for the month of May 2019. We didn't get... I don't think we really got any new mods. It's all updates to previous stuff, which is fine. Some older mods got newer updates, which I always enjoy. Bajoljo, he's always fantastic about updating his stuff, and he's really good about it. I've heard other people with first callouts, I've heard other people really complain about FPS problems. So I haven't put that back in the game recently. I think it was the first callout pack that utilized LSPDFR 0.4. So you can see 30,000 downloads. It was pretty popular and only 5 reviews. I mean, this is part of the issue with the site, and I'm just as guilty. I'll download something and I hardly ever leave a review. But if you have some free time, leaving a review, that would be super helpful for other people. And it's something I need to work on more as well. Let's see what Stop the Ped got for this month. Let's go here. I know he does a lot of behind the scenes, and there's just so much baked into this mod now. It's pretty fantastic. Oh yeah, so the major update for the latest version of Stop the Ped, we could put suspects up into the front passenger seat of the car. You'll see officers in real life do this occasionally. So you can even have an uncuffed stopped ped put into the front part of your car, which is pretty cool. There's some air handling stuff and an improvement with support vehicles not going into opposite traffic. That's fantastic, and a crash fix. Persistency was also recently added into Stop the Ped. I'm not sure if it happened in May. It might have. But persistency is fantastic. It's just not having a car disappear when you walk a certain distance away. Have the game kind of more or less save that car model. So having that built into Stop the Ped's great. The other persistent mods I've used in the past have had issues with them really affecting game performance because of whatever they had to do in the background there. So the fact that it's built into Stop the Ped has been really great, and I've enjoyed that feature. Police repair shops, I think this was uploaded in May. Let me look here. Yep, May 5th. So if you ever wanted to get your car repaired, what police repair shops does is add, looks like there's 10 different repair shops around the map. You can drive up to the repair shop, you press U, and it's going to repair and wash your vehicle. Simple plugin, however, it's pretty cool. I've not actually put it into my game, so I haven't actually used it. But if you're somebody that, when you're on patrol, you want to be able to repair your car and you don't want to use the trainer, this is a great alternative. You just go to one of the repair locations and you get there, you press U, and you get your car washed and fixed. Ultimate Backup also got updates for the month of May. Like I said, Bajoljo, however you say your name, sometimes I call you BJ. I apologize. I probably butcher it every time. We've got improvements for spawning. So sometimes you get weird spawns when you're calling in backup. This aims to fix that a little bit. Also, spike strip callouts have also been fixed a little bit, but you have to do it on a straight road. If you're doing it on a road with bridges nearby, sometimes they'll spawn on top of that. It needs to be a straight road where the suspect's going to continue driving on that road and not going to take an exit or something like that. So those updates also, yes, Police Buddy AI will now be less aggressive. That's fantastic. Sometimes I would be on a call out and I would have our police backup AI just start shooting the guy, and he's got his hands up and he's surrendering. So that fix is fantastic, and it definitely makes LSPDFR feel more realistic. On the Beats call out, I don't really deal with international call out stuff, so I haven't really looked into that one. So if you guys have, just let me know. I think it's been around a while, and I believe it got an update this month. Interaction Plus also got an update. This is a mod I use every single day. Oh, there's my video, speaking of which. If you go down here, let's see what the update was for. Looks like we've got updates for traffic stop observations becoming more stable. This looks like behind the scenes stuff. a bug where the player during the walk and turn test would get stuck. Here, 2.2.6, I think that was also in May. It was also behind the scene stuff. Ped intoxication modifier support for stop the ped. Added checks to suspect data function to stop a crash. And also an attempt to fix controller buttons going through menus. I've had that issue with this mod, and lately it seems to be a lot better. But with the mod, if you're typing to store evidence in to a trunk and you press a hotkey for a different mod, it would like activate through that menu. So it was super annoying if you were hitting keys and then you get out of that menu and stuff starts happening because the game was reading it as hotkey input. So it's been a lot better lately. I remember in the past I would store stuff and I'd press the E key, for instance, and I would have a suspect in the back. And the E key, since I was right near the back door, that was telling the suspect to get out of the car. So I'd enter the evidence into the trunk and then the suspect would hop out of the car. So a minor bug, but that fix seems to be working pretty well. In terms of scripts, that's pretty much it for the month of May. The only really new one was that police repair shops. Basically, my schedule for making LSPDFR videos every day, I always hop on LCPDFR.com into the download section, and I'm checking out what are the new downloads. Do we have any mods that have updates? Do we have new vehicle packs? Things like that. So I pretty much check it every day. And you can see Interaction Plus is very popular, almost 69,000 downloads. So the next section I want to jump into is vehicle mods. I've picked 2 packs that I think really stood out from the rest of the group. Vehicle mods tends to be one of the more active categories of LCPDFR.com. You get a lot of people uploading and updating their stuff, which is great. Always love taking a look at new vehicles. The first one is by Jedediah, and if you've never heard of Jedediah or use his cars, he does a really high quality job. Like all of his stuff, it just looks super well done. And he released a Blaine County Sheriff Department mini pack based out of Washington. So it was based off King County and Washington. The pack just had 2 cars, a Crown Vic as well as a 2017 Silverado. And the Silverado, it was fantastic. I used it on several patrols. It really did look awesome. The Crown Vic came out great. The skins look like the real King County Sheriff's Office skins, and inside the car, it's just well modeled, laid out. And I really enjoyed this pack. I need to leave him a review. He's only got 9 reviews on the pack, but over 1,000 downloads. It was uploaded May 19th. I'm not sure if he has plans to build upon this pack or not. Looks like there's just one bug with the Silverado not being plated, but other than that, it is a really great mod. I've enjoyed using it, and I always look for new uploads by Jedediah. The second pack I really enjoyed this month was the LSPD pack by Tickle-Me-Elmo. He's done a ton of updates to this thing over the time period. It was originally submitted back in April, but he's done updates in the month of May. And since this is my first kind of month in review podcast, whatever I'm going to call it, I thought I would definitely mention his pack. It comes with a ton of cars. Look at this. These are all the cars it comes with. The 18 Charger, a 16 FPI. I think that's a Ford Police Interceptor sedan. 16 FPIU. 11 Crown Vic, 14 Charger, 16 Tahoe, a Tahoe Slick Top, and a 17 Silverado. Here's some pictures if you haven't seen it before. I use this pack a lot, and so have a lot of other people because it's just very well done. The only thing I had to do with some of the textures were dim these lights with my Radiance V mod. Sometimes at nighttime this would be blinding, and you can actually get those files through Open4. You can get them out of the model, and you can put them in Photoshop and put like a black filter on top of it to reduce this brightness, so at nighttime it is not completely blinding your screen. But this pack is really cool. Oh yeah, this thing had traffic advisors in the front right there. I thought it was so cool. So the traffic advisor would activate up front as well as in the back of the light bar. Also had the red LEDs where the daytime running lights are, which is so cool. Had the LED spotlights as well. Like, look how well this is laid out. You can see all these menus. We got the keyboard there for the computer. I think that's actually touchscreen as well. On top of that, here your siren controls down here and radio and stuff. It's pretty cool. Ford Police Interceptor sedan. Like how he took pictures with it during the different lighting stages as well. It's a huge pack. If you haven't used it, highly recommend it. It looks great and it has a lot of variety. So if you're looking for a new LSPD pack, this is always a really good bet if you haven't checked it out. And I really enjoyed that card pack for this month. So there are other categories, of course, on LCPDFR.com, including audio, visual, and data, and miscellaneous. Sometimes we get some really cool mods coming through this section, but you have to check it because sometimes they're not the most popular mods. Here's one of them. It's lore-friendly search items by Lost Boy Lazarus. He's been doing a ton of different data edits for different search items for mods, and he makes them all lore-friendly, which is fantastic because it really keeps you within the world of GTA 5. And also, the items he's putting into these packs are items you typically will not see. I know one of his latest updates, he actually added the ability to find, what was it? He added the ability to find something like diplomatic papers into a person's search, so they would have immunity, and you'd have to decide, okay, do I need to charge them? Do I need to still arrest them? Or because they have this diplomatic immunity, are they free to go? So it really puts some interesting scenarios, and you just have to react to different things you find. And depending on the colors, of course, are your different categories with Stop the Ped. But I've really enjoyed using this. I've got it in the game right now. Like I said, he also has several different data edits that he has uploaded with different lore-friendly stuff. I mean, if we just go back to the category here, you can see citations he's got for Interaction Plus, charges for Interaction Plus. He's got the lore-friendly search items. He's got search items for K9 Partner, lore-friendly pet answers, a lot of different stuff. So if you're looking for new answers and things like that to put into your game, highly recommend that. All right, and the last category here, miscellaneous. I didn't really use too many modifications from this section. I was using Stop the Pet Elite there for a little bit, which is a great mod as well. I think it had some updates in the month of May. And this is similar to the Lost Boy Lazarus's items packs. These are going to add different items, different answers for Stop the Pet. It's kind of all included into one package, and apparently he added more F-bombs for the pet answers in the latest update, but as well as various weapons and airsoft and BB guns into vehicle searches. So this particular mod for Stop the Pet is a great addition if you're looking for just a more one-stop shop for Stop the Pet modifications. Go ahead, check this one out. He's got over, how many downloads does this have? He's got over 10,000 downloads. It was originally uploaded in 2017, so he's actively been updating this mod all the way back a year and a half ago. So it's been a great a mod to use, and I've really enjoyed using it. All right, that's going to pretty much wrap up our month in review. Let me know what you guys think of these videos. Do you want to see monthly reviews of what came out for LSPDFR and different mods? I'll try to link most of the mods I talked about in the description below if you're interested in checking them out for yourself. Like I said, I'm going to see about starting some type of podcast thing. I want to go into different topics, more into depth about certain things. So look forward to that, and hopefully in the future we can get some guests on, and I think it'll be a lot of fun. Also, if the demand's high enough, we can also stick this on different platforms. So if you guys prefer just to listen to it versus, you know, you can listen to it in your car or whatever. If you're exercising, I could possibly do that, but really it will depend on your guys' feedback. I appreciate you watching, and as always, I'll see you guys on the next video.